Good morning. Welcome to Irvine United Congregational Church. Anything different this morning? Well, if you are a regular here, you know that our sanctuary looks a little differently than usual. We had a wedding yesterday, so we decided to just mix it up, and you didn't find your normal seats, and it was just so hard. But thank you for your flexibility and joy in our changes. Don't worry, it'll go back to normal. But we're so glad that you have joined us on this Labor Day weekend. Thank you for being here this morning. Thank you for being with our proud, open, and affirming Just Peace, Global Missions, Creation, Justice, Progressive Christian Congregation of the United Church of Christ. We come together as a community to be a diverse, multicultural, multi-generational community who together seek to follow Jesus' ministries and walk his path that was so prophetic as he listened to the prophets before him who called all of us to walk humbly with one another and our God as we seek justice and love with kindness. So this weekend, we pause from our labors, we share in gratitude for those who work among us, and we are mindful of all the hard work that goes into functioning as a society. With that, I want to begin by thanking everyone who labors here in our community to make church. By definition, no one person could be church, could make church happen, or could be church alone. Literally, the word ecclesia from Greek, which we translate to church, meant gathering or a called out assembly. I really like that because I like the idea of being called out. It reminds me of what it means to be an apostle is sent out. So you're called out and you're sent out. And that's how we got the word congregation, which got us to church. So you need to be gathered with the purpose, called out from wherever you were, and called out beyond this space to be a church. Jesus tells us, though, that we only need 2 or 3, and that's a great thing, but it's a lot better when there's more than 2 or 3 of us here. Ultimately, we know we cannot do it alone. So I want to begin by thanking all of you who labor to make church happen. And I want to begin with our staff members because they're laboring with us. So I want to begin by thanking our administrative pastor, Craig Turrell, Pastor Rachel Crawford, who works with our ministry with young people. Dustin, yeah. There's a lot. There's more staff than you think as I wrote it down. So keep clapping, but I might keep going. Dustin Nguyen, who not only works with our young people, but will actually take to the pulpit today. That's right. Our incredible music director, Christopher Peterson, Dr. Chris Peterson, who is not with us this morning, but I suppose you could clap loudly for him and he can hear us, where he's celebrating with his wife on her birthday. To our pianist who makes this whole thing happen week after week, Yu Young Jong. And the J team, for now, Joy, Jenna, and Jaime, who lead us in our music and are leading us this morning. To our bookkeeper, who you may not always see, but who is a staple here at our office, making sure that we actually can function, Heidi Wilcox. And an important ministry of our church is our preschool, the IUCC Early Childhood Center, where we have a brand new director named Sheila Rafat. I am so eager for you to meet her. Her assistant, Melissa Thompson, who's been here close to 20 years, and a slate full of wonderful teachers, from Miss Priya, who not only works with us during the week, but she's also here with us on Sunday mornings, and so we want to give her a special shout out. Our other teachers are Miss Sporty, Miss Rose, Miss Myra, Miss Lexi, Miss Benaz, Miss Sinaz, and Miss Angel, along with our cook, Miss Marta. So we could give them all a big hand. It is incredible to work with such an amazing team of committed individuals who give so much of themselves to labor so IUCC can do the day-to-day ministry. But we all know the laborers of the church extend far beyond our staff. We have our moderator, Connie Jones, our admin chair. If you clap for all of them, we're never going to leave. So I so appreciate it. But we've got our admin chair, Caesar Sangalang, our ministry board chair, Carolyn Fensel, the whole administration board who makes really important decisions on behalf of our congregation. You elected them to ensure that we are fiscally responsible and managing this big facility of ours, which at times can feel really difficult when everything breaks on us at once. Last week, our air conditioner broke in Plummer Hall, and thank God we didn't have a fire. But everything's going to be okay because our team came together to ensure that it would be. We have an incredible ministry board that is so filled with leaders who do the real business of our church, which is to be in ministry, from volunteering as deacons to welcome us every morning and make sure our signs are outside and the offering comes in and you feel like you're welcome and safe, to our membership ministry who invites you and involves you to be active and activates what it means to be community together, to our adult education, which brings us adult Sunday school and Bible study every week, volunteers who work in our ministry with young people, who ensure we have Sunday school teachers, to leading our communications ministry so that people know what's happening week after week on our website and beyond, the heavy lifting of our mission and service ministry, which invites us to help support Second Harvest this month, and our advocates for peace and justice that remind us that we must speak out and use our voices because we are called out together to speak out. Or just as we look beyond ourselves, we also look and care for ourselves with our congregational care ministry, along with our Stephen ministry, who ensures that there's always someone ready to listen and willing to walk the journey with you, even if it's just a quick prayer or conversation after church. And I do want to note that they will be right over here. A Stephen minister will meet you here at the front of the chancel, where they will be by their banner, offering a listening ear or prayer or just a moment of silence. There are so many who labor to ensure that we can be here today, so that we can be community. And I feel like you've applauded so many times. Let's just applaud for all of us. Welcome into this space, into this church, where we value the gift and the work of every individual. If you are a visitor here, we're especially happy to welcome you this morning. We'd love for you to get to know us better so that we can also take the time to get to know you better. Hope you'll stay for coffee hour. We do have information always about us on our website, and if you head to our website at iucc.org/visitor, you can tell us a little bit about yourself. And if you're here in person, we have little green cards that are available at our welcome table. Love for you to fill those out so we can reach back out to you and invite you to some of the many activities that we have going on here. We are a green faith church, and one of the very simple ways we act that out in community is by not printing our paper bulletins anymore. So if you'd like to follow along with our service, you can do so by doing exactly what you're doing, grabbing your phone, pulling this QR code, and going ahead and downloading that bulletin. Just be aware, I think the date on that is incorrect, but the information is correct. So go ahead and follow along with us. Also, you can take the opportunity to find out what's going on here by our next QR code, which is a megaphone, and that'll tell you what else is happening here at IUCC, which there is a lot. I'll dive into a little bit of it, but I also want to invite you that if you do have a challenge with hearing, we have some listening devices that are available, and Emily's back there with Pastor Craig this morning, and she can help get you set up with that if you need it. Again, so much happening. Please check our e-blasts. They come out twice a week. Our newsletter is coming out for the month of September. And today, as I said, we are going to be celebrating Labor Day. And this morning, we're welcoming our own Dustin Nguyen to the pulpit, along with our guest, Sylvia Hernandez. Next week, we've got the choir returning. Yay! We've missed you. Our Dr. Peterson will be here. We also have a ministry fair that will be a lot of fun. We get to learn about all those ministries I just mentioned. And our kids, we're going to have a really fun celebration as we kick off this new year, as we rally back to church and Sunday school with a water slide. So kids, I guess of all ages, bring your swimsuit, and that'll be outside here. So we're going to have some fun. Also coming up this month, we have a film that we are showcasing with the director called True Believer, and I think this is going to be really interesting. I know for a lot of us, we're really concerned about Christian nationalism in our country, and this addresses that by following one person and their story and looking at the history here in the United States. We also have a church picnic this month, and lots of good things as we enter into this new month and the season of fall together. So with that, I am so very happy to welcome you. Oh, I also was told Church and Mission and Service has a meeting this morning, so we hope that you will join them. And of course, as I mentioned, please do support this ministry as we support ministries beyond ourselves, like Second Harvest Food Bank, where we are helping to collect gift cards for them. Thank you for being here. Thank you for coming. I hope that you find this service to be inspirational, to be filled with the joy of community, to inspire us to labor here together in this space, but beyond this space, to make this world a better place. Welcome to IUCC. Do you think Daisy and you could do that gift for me?
Good morning, church. As we've mentioned, Dr. Chris is not here this morning, so we, the interns, will be filling in. My name is Joy. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. And our introit today is "We Shall Not Be Moved." We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved. Union is behind us. We shall not be moved. The union is behind us. We shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved. We're fighting for our freedom. We shall not be moved. We're fighting for our freedom. We shall not be moved. like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved. We shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted on the water. We shall not be moved. Whoa, we shall not be moved. We shall not be moved like a tree that's planted by the water. We shall not be moved.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Alex Engel, and this is Daisy Engel. And I will be your worship leader this morning. I also am the chair of communications, so we run the website and also participate in events where we have a booth, like on Saturday the 14th, the AIDS Walk coming up. There will be an IECC booth. So if you want to support the AIDS Walk, but you don't really want to do any of the walking, hide behind the booth, tell people about IECC. We would love to see you there. All right. So please, will you join me in the call of worship found on the digital program or on the screens? Creator God, help us to build a new world in the midst of the old, a world where all workers are valued. A world where those who clean houses are also available houses to live in. A world where those who grow food can also afford to eat their fill. We pray for the coming of the world where all workers everywhere share the abundance you have given us. We ask these things knowing that you give us the courage and strength to live out our faith in the workplace and the marketplace as well as in the sanctuary.
The hymn this morning will be from our hymnals, number 562. If you'd prefer to follow with the words on the screen, that is always an option. Please stand in body or in spirit as we sing together. Take my gifts and let me love you, God who first of all loved me. Give me light and food and shelter, give me life and set me free. Now because your love has touched me, I have love to give away. Now the bread of love is rising, loves to love to multiply. Take the fruit that I have gathered from the tree your spirit sowed. Harvest of your own compassion, juice that makes the wine of God. Spiced with humor, laced with laughter, flavor of the Jesus life. Tang of risk and new adventure, taste and zest beyond belief. Take whatever I can offer, gifts that I have yet to find, skills that I am slow to sharpen, talents of the hand and mind, things made beautiful for others in the place where I must be. Take my gifts and let me love you, God who first of all loved me.
It's time for Fresh Word.
Jaime and Jenna, I'm sorry that I couldn't be with you today, but I want you to know how much you're going to be missed. Jenna, the year that you gave us is one of my favorite ever because you have such a beautiful voice and such a beautiful attitude, and you're a beautiful person. Jaime, we've been together since COVID making those crazy virtual choir videos, and you have grown so much, and you joined the church, and we love you so much. Please come back, both of you, as much as possible. We love you.
I like the music because it has a meaning, and I really enjoy that meaning, and they inspired me to become a better singer. Thanks, Jaime and Jenna. We love you. Happy Labor Day.
Good luck in everything you do, Jaime and Jenna.
Thanks for the music, Jaime and Jenna. I can't wait to bring and play Jaime.
Well, first of all, to think about Jaime leaving is heartbreaking.
Heartbreaking!
And he's promised that he's going to come back to visit. He's still a member.
He's still a member.
Still part of our community. And we'll get him to Subford.
And Jenna, the voice of an angel. Gosh, I could listen to your voice any single day of the week. It is simply beautiful. Both of you, thank you for all your contributions to IUCC. We love you. We're going to miss you. We hope you come back often. You always have a home here.
I think the best thing about you, too, is there's no ego that gets in the way. You have helped the choir so much, and we've fallen in love with you. Jenna, you just fit in so easily to the soprano section and supported us, and always so willing to help, and your voice, of course, is a bonus. And Jaime, both of you, getting into second service and doing silly things and being so flexible and learning your music so quickly. We'll never forget you, so come back a lot, okay? Love you both.
I think we've been really blessed to have Jaime and Jenna. I want you to know that today one of my dreams was realized, and that was to hear Jaime sing The Impossible Dream. It's not a religious song, really, but it's a marvelous thing that fits into my romantic idealism.
We were so blessed to have you guys, wonderful musicians, beautiful voices, beautiful people. We're gonna miss having you in the choir. I hope we get to see you again. Hope to hear your voices again here soon.
Bye, Jenna and Jaime, or hi, Jenna and Jaime, soon to be bye. It's been so much fun working with you, singing with you these past few years. I know, Jaime, you've been here the whole time I've been here, and Jenna, this last year has been so much fun. I'm glad I'll still get to see you around. Don't go too far.
I am so thankful for you and your gifts and what you have shared, and it's just so wonderful to be able to have had the opportunity and time to be able to hear your gifts and to experience how the transcendence of that feeling. And so thank you so much for sharing yourselves with the community, and take care on your guys' journey, and best of luck.
Well, Jaime and Jenna, I don't even think I'm going to cry here. Jaime, as we said, you began with us during our time of COVID. I didn't actually get to see you in person until Easter Sunday. And I think you were the only intern that came that day because everybody was too scared to show up. And to meet you on Easter Sunday, I feel, is sort of a metaphor, because it's a resurrection of our church. And you bring so much light with you in everything that you do. You brought us, help to bring us to life as a congregation again. And as everybody says, and I say, every time we discuss you leaving, you are a member of this church, and you are a part of this family. And we know that it's not goodbye. And if you start to miss Jaime, don't you worry, because next month you can join him at a cabaret directed by our own Craig Turrell. It will be a fundraiser for IUCC held at the Wayward Artist. It's called Tub Tub, an evening with Jaime Reza, and you can get your tickets and join us, and our kids will be part of that show, so it's going to be a beautiful show. But it's hard to say goodbye, so I won't, since you're a member of this church. And Jenna, we got a chance to celebrate you as you finished your master's degree this year. We were so proud of you. And it truly is amazing how in a year you can feel like such a big part of our family. You are so responsible, and I love you because I see you when I pull in the morning. She's here, gathering her thoughts and preparing herself and her voice to be in worship with us. You are consistent, and you are so gifted in so many ways. And I truly do hope that you'll come back around and come back to this family who loves you so much. And so to all of you, we have some prayer shawls that our tradition is to pass around these shawls and let them be blessed and infused with our prayers, so that wherever you go, you know that you are literally wrapped in the love and the prayers of this community. So thank you so much for serving with us, for laboring with us, and sharing the incredible work of your heart time and time again. Remember that your voice is for more than just singing. Use your voice always for goodness, to seek out justice in our world, and to share the love of God with all of God's people. And to that I say amen. Okay, these are getting passed around. I'm not giving these to you yet, they're not ready for you. And now you get to sing. I know.
Hi, everyone. Oh, man. Oh, it's going to be so hard to sing this song right now, but I'm going to pull it together. Oh, my gosh. How quickly a year flies by, right? I had no idea how connected I would feel to this church when Dr. P asked me to come work here. Oh man, this is crazy. A huge piece of my heart is going to be left here, and I'm not going very far, I promise. I will be back. But it's been such a joy singing here every week with you all and getting to know you, especially in the choir. You've been so supportive of me. Woo! You've been so supportive and encouraging of me in all my endeavors through school and beyond. Oh, it's been amazing. And I'm gonna miss you all very, very much. Okay, whew, let me take a couple deep breaths. Whew. Okay. Whew. All right, so this piece I'm gonna be singing for you guys today is called I Send My Heart Up to Thee. And it's by Amy Beach, and it is the last song of a collection of 3 songs. And each song is very different, but this one was just very heartwarming and, talking about how this character is enthralled with the beyond and is telling the loved one that I will always be with you, no matter what time it is, no matter when we're gone. The love is always there. Okay, let me try. Okay. I send my heart up to thee, all my heart in this my singing, for the stars help me and the sea, my joyous heart to thee, my heart to thee its dwelling place. I send my heart up to thee, all my heart, in this my singing. I was so enamored, I forgot. Now we are going to sing together once more in meditation in preparation for our time of prayer. Holy Spirit, come to us. 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 Come to us. Holy Spirit, 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 come to us.
Please pray with me now. God of creation, the ancient story says that you labored for 6 days to create this wonderful, miraculous world, and on the 7th you rested. And so the first story in our holy book reminds us to value and respect labor, to honor creativity, and to remember to rest. On this Labor Day weekend, we thank you for good work to do, for bodies, minds, hearts, and spirits with which to do it. And we give thanks to all of those who labor on our behalf and for the good of the community. We give thanks for CLU, Clergy and Laity United for Economic Justice, which is our spiritual/religious advocacy group in Orange County for workers. But God, help us to infuse all our interactions with respect for all workers, respect for janitors, for farm laborers, for grocery store clerks, for garbage collectors, and everybody else who keeps our community functioning. God, we especially ask your prayers for just pay for all, for laws that enable it, and for hearts and minds that expect it. We know it is not your will that CEOs get hundreds of times more salary than line workers. We ask your support for workers who are doing dangerous and even disabling or fatal work. Protect them and help us protect them. We ask your comfort on those who do heartbreaking work without enough materials to get the job done, work for caring when there aren't enough resources. And we ask your love and support on those who are asked to do work that is against their ethical and moral compass. And we celebrate with you creative work, joyful work, like singing, and work that enriches all of us. God of justice, God of love, help us all remember that each of us has good work to do from you. We call it vocation. And so show us how you would have each of us love and serve our family and our community, how you would have each of us speak up and work for justice and love, and how you would have each of us appreciate God's world. We feel your work of love among us still, and we offer on the screen now the names of people in our community who are especially in need of your love, comfort, or healing. Our prayer is a kind of work. Let us shape our hearts and let it ripple out into the world. Our prayers for love and healing. And now please pray with me the prayer that Jesus taught his friends, using the words that you prefer. Our Creator, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
We are grateful this Labor Day morning for the many gifts, talents, and contributions which sustain our community. If your heart is suggesting a financial contribution, you may drop an offering in the plate this morning. You can also visit our website at iucc.org/giving. You can also mail a check to 4915 Alton Parkway, Irvine, California, 92604. An electronic payment can also be sent through Zelle, and you can even donate through texting. Just simply text the amount you want to give to 949-776-3663, and then follow the prompts. At this time, I would like to invite our deacons to come forward to help with the offering.
Good morning. My name is Jaime, if you do not know me. It's kind of too late now. I'm just kidding. But true, I'm a member. In 2020, there was a position open for a tenor section leader here. And at first, I'm not going to lie, I applied for the money. And I got the position, and we were online. And Lester was the only tenor who would show up. And it was me and him on a Zoom call, and we would rehearse for an hour, and he was the first friend that I made at this church. And Lester, I love you, and I'm gonna miss you, seeing you every Thursday and Sunday. But there was a really dark time, not just because it was the pandemic, but because I had made a lot of bad decisions. I was trying to come into my own, and I lost who I was and who I wanted to be. And when I got here, this church definitely helped me find who I wanted to be and find that forgiveness for myself so that I could make those changes to be a better person. And this song that I chose kind of represents my mindset, how I was when I came into this church. And I hope at the end you see that I know now who I want to be and how I want to try to be in this life, because God is love, and I came in with a lot of Catholic guilt, and I didn't know that this church existed, and I'm so grateful that Dr. P took a chance on me to bring me here, because I love this place, and I call this place home. So I hope you enjoy. This is unredeemable. Am I forever unredeemable? God, can I ever overcome all the wrongs I'm running from? Can my worst be left behind? And do I deserve to find there's a soul who could see any good in me? Or will I only ever be unredeemable? Spent every waking minute taking all that I can take. Never stopped to reckon with the ruin in my wake. With all the bridges that I burned, the wounds I didn't mend, all the worth I thought I earned, it turned worthless in the end. What was it for? Well, is it possible I meant for something more? Am I forever unredeemable? Can I be a man who breaks from a lifetime of mistakes? Can my worst be left behind? And do I deserve to find a kind of love that I can lean on every day? Or will I learn I have to stay unredeemable? Unredeemable. to go, I have to try. That's how I'll know if I am forever unredeemable. If I'll ever be someone who makes up for all they've done, or is all I am unlovable? Am I someone can forgive? Can I take the leap and live? There's a lot I leave behind, but I gotta go and find if it's true that there is truly good in me, and maybe see that I won't always be unredeemable. Am I unredeemable?
God has shown you people what is good, and what does the Lord require of you, but to do justly and to love mercy and to walk humbly with your God.
We thank you for the generosity of these gifts. May we use them to further Jesus' ministry of inclusion, seeking justice, sharing joy, and living love. Amen. The scripture reading today is from I looked this up before I came up here, sorry. Deuteronomy chapter 5 of verses 13 through 15. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath to the Lord your God. You shall not do any work, you or your son or your daughter or your male or female slave or your ox or your donkey or any of your livestock, or the resident alien in your towns, so that your male and female slave may rest as well as you. Remember that you were a slave in the land of Egypt, and the Lord your God brought you out from there with a mighty hand and an outstretched arm. Therefore, the Lord your God commanded you to keep the Sabbath day.
God gave us a Sabbath day for rest, but labor gave us two. If it were not for the hard work of the labor movement, we would still be working 6 days a week with no caps on hours. But thank God and the movement for giving us 40 hours work week of a work week. 40 hours, that's a full week, folks. We don't have to go 90. And weekends off. So now we have to remember to take those days. We need to remember to rest because all of us need it. And also work to ensure that everyone receives those same benefits. As the Reverend Terry LePage mentioned in her sermon, we support an organization called Clergy and Laity United for Economic Justice, CLUE. I have long been a part of this organization. one of the early founders here in Orange County, just under 20 years ago. And that's afforded me the opportunity to work with incredible leaders in our community. I'm very excited this morning to get to introduce you to Sylvia Hernandez and to also welcome one of our own members and our MYP staff member, Dustin Nguyen, who has gotten involved with CLU and has also worked on queer organizing with the organization. And as you may or may not know, in addition to his work in ministry, he's also an actor. He has a unique role as a voiceover actor, and he's going to tell us more about that, as well as address a very interesting and important labor issue in his field and many, the use of AI, artificial intelligence, and in his case, how it affects workers like him. But first I want to introduce you to Sylvia, whose bio is so impressive. Sit down because you have such a long bio. No, you can sing it out. She hails from Oaxaca. She studied education at Benemérita Escuela Nacional de Maestros and pedagogy at la Universidad Autónoma de México in Mexico City. And she says that coming to the United States was a stark contrast, starting from zero by cleaning houses and babysitting and doing other basic skills jobs. She became a receptionist at SCIU, Local 1877, and worked her way up to become an organizer for janitors right here in Orange County. Community is very important for her. She was one of the founders of Centro Cultural de Mexico in Santa Ana. You might be familiar with it. She helped to strengthen the community. It helps with getting back to those core cultural values, which are so important. She's kept herself actively involved in community organizing with different organizations, has had roles like the president of the Board of Cooperation in Santa Ana. She's helped to develop other cooperativas here in the county, like the mobile car clean wash. First, she did it here in 2020, but she was a part of it in Los Angeles, which got a lot of press. She's a member of the Esperanza Tenants Union, which means hope, and helps to inform folks of their tenant rights, which is so important, advocates for better regulations like rent control in Santa Ana. She did that work in 2022. She's continued to work with Santa Ana Building Healthy Communities, which is now called Community Hub. And she's a member and organizer of Nuestros Manos, a group of domestic workers in Orange County, and she's part of the Domestic Workers Coalition, also does Know Your Rights training. So as you can see, this is a woman who is very busy, working hard, and she works as an organizer professionally, or I guess everything's professional in this way, but she is she's an organizer, and part of her formal work is to help prevent injuries, illnesses, and deaths that are preventable in the workplace and advocating for that. She just does so much in the realm of justice and a perfect gift for us this morning. We're here to listen to what you're doing. She's actively working right now to try to pass SB 1350 for domestic workers in California, and to get indoor heat protection for all workers. So I think we'll hear a little bit about that. And we're just so thrilled to have you. So welcome, Sylvia. Bienvenidos a nuestra iglesia. Gracias por venir y talk to us. Tell us.
Buenos dias. Good morning. Thank you for this warm welcoming. As Rev. Sarah said, my name is Sylvia Hernandez, and I am originally from Oaxaca. Since the early 90s, mostly in Santa Ana, I've been living and organizing, I think since I was very little, like a child. I went with my grandpa and my parents to talk to my neighbors. We always organize ourselves to resolve any issues in the community. So since I understood that the word organize and organizes is the key word to resolve any situations that we have in the community. We get together and we do tekyo, something that we call tekyo. And tekyo is something, it's to work for all, for everyone. It's not just working for yourself. It's not an individual thing to do, but it's a community gathering where we work voluntary, but it's part of your values. So well-being is for everyone in the community. To me, where I come from, the idea of well-being is conceived by understanding that if my community is well, my family will be well, and then I will be well too. So it's in the opposite. It was very strange, I would say, when I came here, and everything, it was kind of individual. I'm gonna get anything for me, then for my family, and then if I have time, I will work with the community. To me, it's the opposite. I need to take care of my community, and that environment, it will assure that my family is gonna be okay, and I am gonna be great, doing great. So I left my town at the age of 10 years old because there's no more school over there at that time. And I went to Mexico City to study, and I became a teacher at the age of 18. And I went to work with the poorest people in the city. So I participated in movements for the change in favor of fair wages for us, the workers. Then I developed my deep vocation as an organizer. And I understood that I was going to do organizing wherever I go. Life brought me here to the United States and continued doing that. At the very beginning, at the first day, I went to talk to the Sisters of St. Joseph. They were developing a curriculum for literacy for workers. So I was volunteering the work over there. And I think throughout my more than 50 years working, I have learned and I've been guided for everyone who touched my life in these many years. Everyone, I have this attitude that nobody knows more than you, that everyone knows different things. And when you meet someone, you get to learn what that person knows, because he or she, or they can be in a different road that you have been. So you just exchange your knowledge. And so I am always open, trying to learn from someone new. And I've been meeting a lot of people, very good people here in this country. I respect the very different points of view than mine. As a worker, I believe that work dignifies the human being. My grandpa used to say that you have to respect yourself and have dignity. So a decent job with a decent payment for each one of us, the workers, can put food on our tables, and we can have a roof over our heads, a safe roof. We all can be well and give, including education, to our children. Today, we commemorate the fact that in 1894, Congress decreed the first Monday of September as a federal holiday, the same one that the first American unions had proposed to create since 1882. It took many years to create and recognize the contribution of workers to the country. I want to express that we all deserve dignity and respect as workers, regardless our race, our color, our identity, economic income, cultural origin, but only we deserve that because we are human beings. I try to follow Jesus, the Son of God, as my mentor, because I like to think that of him that he is a great organizer. He had us today all and every time that others need us. So he makes us wonder how we will solve our daily challenges. He confronts us when we do not apply our values as good Christians and show us the way, listening without ignoring or following his path, without doing something first for each one of us. For me, his example is the call to take action. Every time I see an injustice, he did that. He was walking and looking every need and trying to solve. Today, in our reflection, we thank workers for all that they produce or for the services they provide us. And in our prayers goes out for a better economy and social justice for all workers. But we will ask more for those who have fewer opportunities to improve their lives. For those who have fewer laws to protect them, or less acceptance and less support to prevail and prosper. As a former domestic worker, I ask that today we put in our prayers the domestic workers who for 50 years now, when the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, OSHA, was created to promote safe working conditions, investigate safety complaints, and prevent workplace injuries. All workers were included, but this type of workers, the domestic workers, the people who worked in the house, were excluded. And now they are still refusing to include them. In California, the SB 1350 is a bill that would end part of the exclusion, not all, only 175 workers. And we will ask God today that the Governor Newsom sign it and does not bet as it did in the previous 3 years of our struggle. This is the fourth time that we trying to pass a bill. As a soccer coach organizer, soccer coaches, in soccer coach, we always believe that every injury is prevented, and we try to influence policies, decisions affecting workers' health and safety. And we support every campaign trying to do that. So as a soccer coach organizer, for all workers from all industries, I invite you to advocate for regulations to prevent heat-related deaths in indoor jobs. We already have for outdoor jobs. But now we are fighting for those who work indoors, like the janitors, like the cooks, the warehouse workers. The janitors, for example, at the time they go to work at 6 p.m., the buildings turn off the air conditioning, and they work hard. It's a physical work, and they don't have access to water, and they don't have enough time to alleviate their conditions because they have so many workloads that they cannot have enough time to end. So we need to keep them in mind. Our state campaign recently succeeded in getting the California government to pass regulations in Cal OSHA to improve conditions for indoor workers. On June 20, Cal OSHA, they said that now we have regulation and established the safety measures required in indoor workplaces. So this rule went into effect on July 23rd, 2024. The California employers now, they must follow 4 steps. They need to train all workers and supervisors about the prevention on heat illness. They need to provide enough cool water for each employee to drink, at least a quart every hour, and encourage employees to drink water too. Encourage employees to take cooling break in the shade for at least 5 minutes. Employees should not wait until they feel sick to cool off. And they need to develop and implement written procedures to comply with Cal OSHA standards. At the national level, we are in the state of being heard, adhering to express through our testimony why regulations for protections from intense heat in indoor workplaces are urgently needed. Today, on Labor Day 2024, we ask God to grant us the grace to improve the conditions of millions of workers in need. You can all support us by following our Fire Up Heat Justice campaign organized for National COSH. Please sign the petition. I will share the online petition with Reverend Sarah so we can pass it. It takes only 30 seconds. Another important bill is SB 2027, which has passed the Senate now, but it's going to be in the Newsom's desk awaiting his signature. This week, we worked hard to ask senators to join and support. This bill is made up for over 150 organizations from across California. And the coalition works to expand safety net programs for excluded immigrant workers, such as the unemployment benefits program. Finally, I want to acknowledge this community of the United Congregational Church of Irvine that in 2011 gave us shelter to spend the nights of the hunger strike that we workers and members of the Orange County community held for immigration reform. I was one of them to spend the night here in this room. I remember very well that time. My deep gratitude for this church, because I slept under a roof, under the protection of God, and with my hope always alive. Today, the legalization of 8 million immigrants is possible. Registration has existed as law for more than 100 years now. But if we can update that, we can legalize 8 million immigrants. So the fight is continue, and we are tireless warriors. As workers, we need to keep fighting for fair housing, for medical services. We are excluded from many things. We don't have access. The workers, we don't have a living wage to provide everything to our families. We must continue fighting until all workers are treated with dignity and respect. Thank you for having me today.
Earlier this week, Pastor Sarah was scrambling to find someone to speak for labor in the pulpit, and I was like, boy, do I have a solution for you. Hi, my name is Dustin Nguyen. Obviously, I work here at church, but outside of church, I'm also a professional actor. I'm a member of SAG-AFTRA, the Screen Actors Guild, American Federation of Television and Radio Artists, a labor union with approximately 160,000 members representing actors, singers, dancers, broadcast journalists, and so many other professionals in entertainment and media. After more than 18 months of contract negotiations with some of the biggest video game companies in the world, video game actors like me are on strike. The core issue boils down to AI, artificial intelligence. If the video game employers had their way, they could create a digital AI replica of me and never have to hire me or any other human actor ever again. This is an existential fight. To be clear, we're not striking to ban AI. What we demand is the right to give or revoke consent over the use of our digital replicas and to be fairly compensated for each use. The video game industry is a $300 billion industry, significantly dwarfing the movie industry. And of that, actors only receive a drop in the bucket, despite the immense value that our performances add to games. I rebuke the rhetoric that diminishes actors, such as that of Amazon Games CEO Chris Hartman, who stated, "For games, we don't really have acting." Really? So, as I rally my troops for the final battle, knowing that this is the last time I'll be looking at some of their eyes, I guess that's not acting. As I take a punch to the face, a sword to the stomach, an arrow to the knee, I guess that's not acting. I'm thrilled to be in the pulpit today of all days because this is a rare opportunity for me to combine my two worlds, which I never get to do anywhere else. In the Bible, we have a Hebrew term, ruach, which means breath, air, spirit, life. Every living being has this ruach, this force of life emanating from them. When an actor performs, they imbue their ruach into the role, and this is what moves audiences. And AI has no ruach. It may be able to hit a correct string of pre-programmed emotions, but it will never be able to breathe life into a performance. And the Bible is on the side of economic justice for workers. Deuteronomy chapter 24, verses 14 to 15 says, "Don't oppress your workers, pay them a fair wage." Romans chapter 4, verse 4 says that a worker's salary is not a gift, it's a debt to be paid. So no more playing games. It's time for the video game employers to come to the bargaining table to negotiate a deal that provides the protection and compensation that actors deserve. We understand that this is a fight for our future. We will not let this be our game over. The actors, united, will never be defeated.
Thank you so much to our speakers, to the organization Clergy and Lady United for Economic Justice that I have worked with and many of us have as well. Now, as we continue our time, I just want to bless all of you for putting in the work, for being in church. It is work sometimes, and we're asking that of one another. But we also remember that as we work, we must be fed. I hope that you have been fed spiritually today, but I also want to invite you back to the table that Jesus has prepared for all of us, that we might remember that we have been called to work, but we have also been called to rest, to receive the sustaining grace that, as Jaime reminds us, that we are all called to receive the forgiveness that can come at the table when we lift up our own culpabilities, as we do in this nation and in our world, for all of the ways that we have inadvertently bought into injustices that affect workers worldwide. But we also come to this table knowing that God loves us for exactly who we are and redeems us so that we can redeem the world. And so it was that Jesus took the very bread that he and his dearest friends had shared that final night and lifted it, breaking it, saying, "This bread is broken. It is broken like our world. It is broken like our hearts. It is broken like our bodies. But even in all of our brokenness, may we find wholeness. May we experience healing." And likewise, he took the very cup that they had shared and he poured once more the fruit of the vine, reminding them that this cup is a cup of blessings. That for as hard as life can be, for all the injustice and unfairness, it is still so sweet. The blessings are. And so he invited his friends, his disciples, his very family, to table that night, to eat of the bread of life, and to drink of the cup of blessings. So too does he invite us this morning. Here at IUCC, we believe that all are welcome at the table, and so if you feel called to receive, you may. We do so by taking a bit of bread and a cup of juice, non-alcoholic fruit of the vine, and we will invite you to take that, return to your seats, and together we shall partake of the sacrament. Let us continue with this Holy Communion.
One bread, one body, one Lord of all, one cup of blessing which we bless, and we, the many, throughout the earth, we are one body in this one Lord. Gentile or Jew,
you, the bread of life. May we ever be sustained at this table, that we continue to do the work that God calls us to do. And together we share in our prayer of thanksgiving for love shared and hope renewed, for promises remembered and Christ among us, for the feasts of this life and those to come. We give you thanks, O God. Send us forth to reconcile and make new, praising life in the midst of death, bearing hope on angels' wings, and giving thanks always and everywhere that life is precious beyond all time. Hallelujah. Amen. And so, brothers and sisters, siblings in Christ, go out into this world, yes, with the injustice and the heartache and the hard work it takes to be human in community. And know that you are loved and you are a gift. And the dignity of life is yours and for your neighbor too. For we are all connected in this incredible kingdom of love. Amen.